Hi guys, welcome to another Black Scorpions review. Today we are going to be looking at G&G's UMG, Uber Machine Gun they call it, which is a replica of the real-life H&K UMP submachine gun. Okay, first of all we'll talk about the externals. These things are really nicely made. There's no seams on them really, a couple of little ones like you'd expect, probably no worse than the real thing, nothing that actually catches you or feels uncomfortable. It's made of a glass reinforced fibre. Got a really nice finish to it. Doesn't creak or anything like some other ones that I've held in the past. Overall as well, because there's not high metal content on the externals of the weapon, it means they're nice and light. We're coming at only 2.3 kilos. It makes them really easy to handle all day. Moving on to the back end, comes with a foldable stock, which also has a rubber end, which is nice and grippy, and also a rubber piece there that your cheek would go up against. Fold stock's on a nice simple hinge here, comes across and clicks into place, which is a nice touch. Don't know if you'd want to use it like that, up to you. It makes it very small. Yes, you could use it in a confined space or in and out of a vehicle. When you fold the stock, you'll also find where the battery goes. We'll come on to that later. Talking about the rest of the externals, everything that should be metal on the real thing, again, is metal on this one. So you've got metal iron sights at the back and front, a metal barrel and flash suppressor here, and metal RIS rails. In the box it will come with 3 RIS rails. You get one for the bottom and one for each side, and the one on the top that's already on there. Now the cock and handle, this actually works really nicely. What you can do is you pull it back to access the hop unit which is there. It will go up over the top, so you can do your HK slap if you really feel the need. But also what they've done is they've put the bolt release here, and it is actually functional. So if you press that in while the bolt's back, it keeps the bolt open. It's a slider style hop that you find in here, which is usual for most version 3 gearbox. Seem to have slider hops like an AK, so if you've ever seen one of those you'll be familiar with this one. Bolt catch works, slides back forward, nice touch. The fire selector, you've got your safe, single and full auto, similar to G36 style, made by the same company. Has a nice positive click and is ambidextrous, works on both sides. Has a bearing that goes into a little indent which provides you with that click and positive movement. With the iron sight, the foresight isn't adjustable at all. Same as a real thing. All the adjustment is done on the rear iron sight. Don't know if you can quite see that there. You've got an Allen key here which adjusts the height. It's spring loaded, so you can see that moving there. And then you've got windage adjustment at the side with an Allen key there. The iron sight itself also has 2 apertures. You've got the little distance one and open one for short range. The mag release, nice and easy to use, spring loaded, you can see there. And combined with the mags, which are nice big chunky mags, it's really easy to use. Never have any trouble using that one. Some can be quite stiff. This one is a really good, nice and easy one to use. That brings us on to the mags, of course. The mags themselves are nice mags. They come in high caps and mid caps. Now there's some other brands of UMG UMP mags out there. They won't work with this. There are some clone ones that will work, but the ones made by Star and Aries, they don't work. Everything's not quite in the same place. With the mags themselves, you get 50 rounders, which are the mid caps. You need a speed loader to load those. That's what this one came with. And they also G&G also produce 470 round high caps, massive capacity high caps. The only downside to those mags I found is because obviously they're long and thin, the gear wheel for winding is really small, and you do feel like you're sat there for a long time, even compared to a normal high caps. It takes a long time to wind them up. The other thing worth pointing out about the mags, normally in a CQB environment, these mags no problem whatsoever. They're nice and easy to grab out of mag pouches as well, I find. The only downside is if you're playing woodland or urban or anything like that, or even CQB, and you decide you want to go prone, that mag being so long can be a bit of a hindrance. Obviously there's a lot of distance between the bottom of the mag there and the gun itself. Right then, moving on to the internals. These things, they come with nice quality gearboxes. It's all version 3, standard parts, so easy to source if anything ever was to go wrong. Now, there's no bells or whistles inside these gearboxes. You don't get bearing spring guides, bearing piston heads or anything like that. However, like I said, all the parts are really nice quality. This is a really popular gun on the team. We've actually got 5 of these. This is the most popular gun. We haven't got that many of anything else. And other than the odd spring upgrade or downgrade, depending on how it came in to start with and where we're playing, we've not actually done anything to the internals. They're all still running the standard motors, standard gears and everything like that. And touch wood, we haven't had a single problem with any of them. So, and we got the first one. The first one's about 5 years old now. So there's certainly one for longevity. So good so far. Now the front inside the barrel it comes with a 6.04mm tight bore barrel, which is excellent. Gives it a nice bit of accuracy. And the hop is the only proprietary part. Whilst the tappet plate, the hop unit, and the nozzle are the only proprietary parts in here, rather, and the rest is the standard version 3 parts, as I mentioned before. Now, taking down, this gun is a nice and easy gun to work on. You've got push pins here. If you've had a G36 before, you'll be familiar with this. You pop the pin out, like so. Has a little leaf spring on the end. Then, this is the only sort of tricky bit, is up in the front there, you have to push the hop forward with your thumb, which I'm doing in the magwell there, and then that will allow this to pivot down, and all it does is pivot on the front on a fixed steel piece, and you've got that piece out. This will then allow you in turn to rotate the hop unit, and you'll see the 2 little guide teeth in there. That allows you to get the hop unit and barrel out. Now again, we've been running these barrels from the start. We haven't changed anything about these. The odd hop rubber's been changed thanks to just general wear and tear. But the hops themselves pretty good. Slider hop units. Not had any trouble whatsoever with these. Plenty of adjustment in those. If you want to get the gearbox out, you've got 2 Allen keys on the bottom here that hold on the base plate. Remove those. Then moving up to the top, there's a little pin here, push pin. Use a little punch, something small you can push that out with. Then move the selector in between single and full auto. That allows the selector plate to move into a position that allows the gearbox to then be wiggled out of the lower receiver. Nice and easy. Okay, the battery compartment we'll talk about next. The battery putting on this is really easy. It's really nice, tucked away as well. What you do, fold the stock, and you see at the back here you've got a little hatch. Open that up, and then you'll find the battery connector just inside. Now the battery sits along the top here and runs down there towards the hop unit. It's got quite a lot of room. You can fit a 9.6 1200 milliamp nickel metal hydride stick battery in there, or lately I've taken to using 11.1 volt lipos in there. You can fit I fitted up to a 2,500 milliamp lipo battery in there. And something that's worth noting though, like we said about the cock and handle earlier, that you can pull that back and adjust your hop and things. Be careful when you do that when there's a battery inside, because what can happen is, as you pull this back, this plate here, the bolt piece goes back, and it can, if the battery's in there, it can catch with it and it can tear along the side of it or cause damage to the battery, obviously you don't want that. So it's worth, if you're going to adjust your hop, fold the stock over, maybe open the back here, just make sure the battery's to one side, turn it over, then get that open. Once that's open, then you're fine, you can play around with it. It's just something to be aware of. Now, the 5 of these that we've all bought between us, they've all come out of the box doing between 290 and 320, 325 FPS. Not a single one of them came out of the box doing over the 1 joule mark, which is ideal really, because this is the kind of weapon that excels in CQB environment, where FPS limit in most of the UK for your close quarter sights is around the 328, 330 mark. Now, I mentioned before this is great for CQB, a couple of reasons for that. One of them, it's only 2.3 kilos. It's really, really light. I mean, if you stick a foregrip and a sight on there, this thing's super light. You can run around with this all day. The other thing that makes it great, it's tiny. It's absolutely tiny. It's only 695mm in length from end to end. Obviously, if you fold the stock and decide to play with it that way, it makes it even smaller again. I mean, it's absolutely tiny. The barrel inside is also, of course, very, very short. It's only 205mm long, so it's a very short barrel. However, because it's a tight bore, it still gives good results. The barrel's held in very tightly as well. There's no play for the inner barrel inside the outer barrel. So we find these things to be pretty damn accurate, and indoors again, very accurate, no problems whatsoever. Okay, accessories wise, this comes with, it's got rear sling loops already as part moulded into the weapon. It also comes with a front sling loop that you can attach at the front up here on the end of the Risrail. So if you want to use your 2 or 3 point slings, you can attach both of them on there. As I mentioned earlier, it comes with the 3 Risrails around the front section. These are standard Picatinny rails, so I had no trouble whatsoever fitting things to these. As you can see on this one, we've got a vertical foregrip, and on this one we have a vertical foregrip. We've got a EOTech set up on the top there. Again, no problems fitting that on. We've also usually run a PEC box on the side of this with a laser and a torch. Again, fits fine. Other accessories you can get for these are the same as the real thing. The end, the flash suppressor, the HK style, they've put a little notch in here. That's because it's designed to take this silencer here, which G&G do a replica of. It costs about £45 in the UK, and because of the polymer body that they've used on this gun, combined with the silencer, it actually makes the gun really, really quiet, a lot quieter than most other weapons. So if you like sneaking about, especially in the woods, this thing will keep you stealthy. Now the silencer itself, there's a push button here, and that allows it to release again. It is stiff, it can be quite difficult to take off. I'm sure it would loosen up over time, but to be honest, this one's mine. Stuck the silencer on, it stays on. The other thing you can do with the silencer is you could use it to hide a longer barrel. If you find that you weren't happy with the 205mm barrel, or if you want a bit more accuracy for outdoors, I mean, that's going to give you about an extra 15 centimeters of barrel on top of that. It's taking you up to about 355, give or take, millimeter barrel. The other thing that's interesting about this silencer, like I say, it's a quick detach, and it comes with a flash hider that screws onto a 14mm negative that is shaped exactly the same as the UMG silencer, flash hider. So you can bang that on your M4 or any other weapon you've got, and then that allows you to put the silencer on any other weapon. In the UK, the G&G UMG UMP replica can be bought for £235, give or take, depending on the time of year, where you buy it from, which way the wind's blowing. All in all, I think this is a fantastic weapon. Of all the weapons I've got, this is one of my favourites. It's light, it's small, it's easy to use, it works well, it's reliable. You can't go wrong with one of these. And like I said before, there's 5 of them on our team. We all agree, fantastic weapon. Okay guys, that brings us to the end of our review. This has been another Black Scorpions review. If you'd like to see more reviews of weapons, accessories and airsoft sites around the country, check out our website at blackscorpions.co.uk. Thanks again.